Peace to the church and body of Hamashiach, who the world knows Christ. It's your brother coming back at y'all with another video on truth and edification to bring knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to the church, to feed the sheep. And shout out also to my fellow laborers out there that's preaching and ministering to the saints as well. And the title for this lesson is The Heathen Want to Wipe Us All Out, which is the Israelites. But God has a different plan. Right? For those of you who new to this knowledge, the heathen are the other Gentile nations, every group of people beside the Israelites, or outside the Israelites, which that's your East Indians, your Arabs, your Chinese, your Japanese, Caucasians, a lot of the Africans, you feel me? So they are our enemies, right, according to the Bible. And wiping us all out, has been their top plan on their to-do list, ever since the Most High multiplied us and formed us as a nation in Egypt. But I got a new sword, man, from Walmart. It's an NLT sword. I love that the New Living Translation, man. That's one of my favorite translations outside the KJV. I'm going to read Psalms, the 83rd chapter, because it's going to give you a list of all the enemies of Israel. And the Israelites are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and of course, according to common sense, common sense ain't so common, but according to what we know to be true, is that all people that may look like Negroes or look like black people, they ain't Israelites. It's chocolate covered Edomites out here. Like my grandma, for an example, on my mom's side, she is an Edomite, but she looks like a Jacob, Jake. She looks like an Israelite woman, but she's not, because her father's father was a so-called white. She does not act like she has a different spirit, different energy, and things of that nature. But and also too, it's Israelites. They look like the other heathen nations. It's Israelites that, according to the flesh, may look like Edomites, may look like white people, but they got the spirit of Jake. You know what I'm saying? They got the spirit of an Israelite. And that goes for a lot of other nations as well, because we've been scattered to the four corners of the earth. And it was done, by way of a curse that was put on our people for being disobedient to God's commandments. So we've been scattered to every part of the world, and mingled ourselves, mixed ourselves in with the other nations and stuff like that. There's a lot of Israelites that, but we most populated people on earth, and we have been delivered over into our enemies' hands, being facing discrimination and facing oppression and facing political turmoil and hardships from these other nations, because we have no power, right? We've been put into subjection and sent as captives into all nations. They the head and we the tail. They have triumphed over us, right? And it was all according to the Lord's word. They are our enemies. Contrary to popular belief, we have enemies, man. A lot of Israelites have Stockholm syndrome and have formed bonds with their oppressors. But once you come into the knowledge of the Holy Bible and understanding who you truly are, you'll understand that you have other races of people, nationalities of people that hate you, right? And they always have hated you. You can go back here. This is the ancient thing. Ain't nothing new under the sun. So without further ado, this is the book of Psalms 83 in the NLT. Alright. It says, O God, do not be silent, do not be deaf, do not be quiet, O God. Don't you hear the uproar of your enemies? Don't you see that your arrogant enemies are rising up? Which is the heathens. So the enemies of the Israelites are the enemies of God, because we are his people. We are linked and connected. We are bonded together through a divine covenant. So it says, they devise crafty schemes against your people. Let's look up the word schemes. It says they devise crafty schemes against your people. So the heathen devised crafty schemes against the Israelites. So it says make plans, especially in a devious way or with intent to do something illegal or wrong. So these heathen, mainly the so-called white man, the Edomites, because that's our main enemy. That's the arch enemy of Jacob, right? They always, make plans in a devious way with the intent to do wrong to us, right? Because if you read, let's see, go to the book of Song of Three Holy Children and go down to verse 6. I start at verse 6. It says, for we have sinned, meaning us Israelites have sinned and committed iniquity, departing from you, which is the Lord God. It says, in all things we have trespassed, which is his commandments. Right, it says, and not obeyed your commandments, nor kept them, neither done as you have commanded us, that it might go well with us. Wherefore, all that you have brought upon us, and everything that you have done to us, you have done in true judgment. Right? The Lord brought upon the children of Israel, the 12 tribes, a great evil, man, which is namely, came in the form of slavery. Lynchings, hangings, dismembering, robbing. People robbed us, and no other nation have went through what the Israelites have went through. Nobody can name me not one other people that have went through even a fraction of what so-called Negroes have been through, right? Look at your 12 years of slaves. Look at your the good by Uncle Tom, Amistad, right? Birth of a nation, and this many other so-called slavery movies and stuff like that. But nobody went through what we went through, and the Lord made good on His word, because He said it was going to happen to us if we was to disobey, and that's what we have done. And He executed true judgment. It says, and you did deliver us into the hands of lawless enemies. See? The Lord is the one that did that, who had all these nations to conquer us. Us being the strongest, the fastest, the smartest, the most creative, the greatest people to ever come upon this planet, ever to grace the face of the earth. We have been conquered as a people. It's a reason behind it. So it says, you did deliver us into the hands of lawless enemies, most hateful forsakers of God. and to an unjust king and the most wicked in all the world. Who's the most wicked in all the world? The Edomites. And Edom, I think, is the first one. Yep, Edom is the first enemy that there's going to name here in Psalms 83. It says, they devise crafty schemes against your people. Yep, and those wicked Edomites. And I was speaking about this this definition for the word scheme. And these Edomites, these wicked people that we just read about in the Psalm of Three Holy Children, they always plot against us to do what's wrong. You know, whether it be spraying chemtrails in the sky, poisoning our food with heavy toxic metals, you know, poisoning our water, setting stumbling blocks for the children of Israel to stumble and slip and fall over into sin. They shove agendas down your throat through their media, through the TV shows and the movies. Always trying to keep the Israelites in sin so God can have a reason to keep us down. You know what I'm saying? But they don't know the plans of God. They think that their empire is going to rule forever. Deep down inside, they really know. The higher ups, they know that their kingdom is about to be stripped from. That's why they're doing everything in their power, trying to fight tooth and nail to try to keep the blessing, right? To keep their rulership, to keep the power, seat, and authority over the earth. But it's going to get stripped from them, right? Real soon. It's going to get stripped from them. It says they conspire against your precious ones. Come, they say, let us wipe out Israel as a nation. See? This has always have been their plan. They want to wipe out the children of Israel from being a nation, well, as a nation. It says we will destroy every memory of its existence. And they have done that. They tried to do that by way of stripping our identity from us, but it was a part of biblical prophecy. We was to discontinue from our heritage. You know, pursuant to Jeremiah, prophecy in Jeremiah, but the so-called Jewish people have stolen our identity, and they currently possess the land of Israel right now, right, which is northeast Africa. You can walk straight into Egypt from Israel. These modern day Palestine and stuff like that. So that's originally the so-called Negroes' land, but they have it right now, and that was all a part of their agenda to wipe the memory of who the true Israelites are from existence. So it says, yes, this was their unanimous decision. So that's everybody. All of them is in on it. You know what I'm saying? All of them is in on it, and they try to put it out to the public like, they try to put it out to the public that we are not bad. They try to put it out to the masses of the people, to the public, to the media, and on the news and stuff, that all these different nationalities of people outside of Israel, like they're clashing one against another, like they hate each other, they're adverse against each other. But really, they all they all gather under one consensus, and it's a secret war behind the scenes. They all forming and banding together to fight against us, man. That's the real war. The war against the Bantus, the war against the Israelites, right? The celestials, the gods, the angels in the flesh, the sons and daughters of the living God, the children of Israel. It says this was their unanimous decision. They signed a treaty as allies against you. See? And this is what they have done. This was really going on behind the scenes. World War III, of course, it won't come in the form, these different nations fighting against each other and stuff like that, but the real war is the war against us, a war against us. They made a treaty as allies. You know, they band together to come against the Israelites. That's who they really hate. It says these Edomites, see, and Ishmaelites and Moabites and Hagarites, which is Hamites, and come from Ham. Gebalites, I think that's another descendants of Ham. The Ammonites and the Amalekites, which is descendants of Edom. Amalekites is descendants of Edom. And people from Philistia, which is more Hamites, and Tyre, Hamites, Assyria, Hamites, has joined them too, and is allied with the descendants of Lot, which is Moab and Ammon, which is the so-called Chinese and Japanese. It says, I think that's it. I just grabbed that just to show y'all that we have enemies, man. We have enemies. All these other nations, they are our enemies. They have always been our enemies. And the main two, well, the main three, I should say, are the Edomites, the Ammonites, and the Moabites, which are so-called your Caucasian people, your European people, your Chinese and your Japanese, man. Those are the main ones. Those are the main nations. Especially that's going to come in a time when the enemy going to come in like a flood. You know, when martial law is declared, the Lord's going to send those, groups of men from those specific nations to come over here and try to, destroy the Israelites. They're going to wipe out 2/3 of our people, but, for the most part, because that's according to prophecy, 2/3 of our people are going to be cut off and die. That's Zechariah 13:8. So that prophecy has to be fulfilled because a lot of Israelites are wicked. They're evil. They surpass the deeds of the wicked. A lot of Israelites have taken things too far, and the Lord is going to get them back for that. He ain't no respected person. You can be one of his children or not. You can be an Israelite, full-blooded Israelite, one of the sons or daughters of the Most High. But if you're wicked, that's something that the Lord hates, right? The Lord don't give a damn if you're an Israelite. He will mess you up, Scripture says, for the Most High hateth sinners and keep them against them out of their punishment. No, it says, for the Most High hateth sinners and will repay vengeance to the ungodly and keep them against them out of their punishment. So it's a lot of ungodly amongst the children of Israel, right? The Bible says amongst his people are found wicked men. And women, too. Of course, women. Of course, women. Wicked women. WW. Wicked women. And so Logan gonna cut off a lot of his people by way of these specific nations that I just spoke about. But it's a select few. It's a small few, which is the Bible calls the elect or the remnant. It's going to end up being delivered and saved from those things. You see? They're going to be delivered from the hands of the enemies. And partially this lesson is going to be about spiritual power too. So this is Micah 4:11. Now also, many nations, let me see if I can grab this in Micah 4:11, grab this in the NLT. Let me see what it says here. Micah 4:11. It says, now many nations have gathered against you. Let her be desecrated, they say. Let us see the destruction of Jerusalem. And this is their mindset. This is what they desire. They want the Israelites to be destroyed, right? They want to desecrate us and destroy Jerusalem, which is the nation of Israel. says, but they do not know the Lord's thoughts. See? Or understand his plan. The Most High have a plan when this happens. Right? When these martial law troops come over here, when all hell break loose and go through the streets of in the cities of America and start to kill and render mass judgment. Basically, it's going to be a huge massacre, of Israelites. But the Lord has a plan to where He's not going to give every last one, every single Israelite over into their hands. Ain't no evil going to happen to those that fear the Lord, or those that's a part of His elect, those predestined from the foundation of the world to receive salvation. But there's going to be a partial lesson on the spiritual power, cause that's a part of His plan. Cause these nations, they're gonna come with that heat. You know what I'm saying? Enemy gonna come in like a flood. Esau gonna come down with great wrath. So when they come in, when these troops, when they boots hit the ground and they start to tread the streets and cause mass death and start shooting and robbing and raping, and killing babies, killing old people, hanging and man, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be a bloodbath. Damn, I had a brain fart just then. Oh yeah, a part of his plan is that he's gonna they're gonna come with a lot of stuff. When they come, they're gonna have energy weapons. They're gonna have robo dogs. They might have like cyborgs or some secret weapons that you think is science fiction, or some type of cyborgs, or it may be some people, some soldiers that have undergone different body modifications and stuff like that, and had surgery on and